The Bureau of Prisons is holding Dr. Malachi York, a Liberian diplomat in prison against international laws at USP Florence ADMAX. He is now 73 years old and has been in solitary confinement for 10 years. Dr. York has been denied medical care and visits by family and legal representation. The Republic of Liberia has requested he be repatriated back to his country. To help, contact Senator Michael Bennett or Congresswoman Diana DeGette and go to freedryork.com.
Rahubat Yasar. Welcome to another doctrine/reading at Pa Maparar Rakam Wahu, Temple Number 1, Brooklyn, New York. The title of this reading is called As the Planet Turns. 1. Nuwaupians, the day will soon come when all will look at the sun. Men, women, and children will cry. Odd things will appear in the skies. 2. It was all recorded by the ancient ones. 3. The real astronomers, the ancient scientists who kept the secret sacred, yet on record the movements of the earth, land, the water, sea, the heavens, sky. The great clock of time, all or most moving counterclockwise. 5. You are now on Taha, earth. So that is what Amanubi Radakpata will deal with here. 6. Pa-Taha, the earth, makes a complete circuit around its own axis once every 24 hours and has an equatorial circumference of 24,000 miles, not exact. 7. It follows, therefore, that a person standing still on the equator is in fact in motion, revolving with the planet at 1,000 miles per hour. 8. Mortal moving 1 mile for every year of 24,000. 9. The human clock land 1 mile for every year. 10. That is only viewed from the sky above or outer space, looking down on the North Pole. The direction of rotation is counterclockwise. 11. While the planet Earth is spinning daily on its axis, it also orbits Rayay, the sun, around 93 million miles away. Also in a counterclockwise direction on a path which is slightly elliptical rather than completely circular, speed traveling is far along it in an hour, 66,600 miles, as the average person will travel in 6 years, at a rate of 19.9 miles every second. 12. With 1 year needed to complete a full circuit, the evidence shows the tremendous orbital race Earth is participating in is the slow march of the 4 seasons. 13. And in the operations of the season themselves, it is possible to see a wondrous and impartial mechanism at work, distributing spring, summer, autumn, and winter fairly around the globe, across the northern and southern hemispheres, year in and year out, with absolute regularity. 14. The planet Earth's axis of rotation is tilted in relation to the planet of its orbit at 23 degrees to the vertical. 15. This present tilt, which causes the seasons, points to the North Pole and the entire northern hemisphere away from the sun for 6 months a year, while the southern hemisphere enjoys its summer, and points the South Pole and the southern hemisphere away from the sun for the remaining 6 months, while the northern hemisphere enjoys its summer. 16. The seasons result from the annual variation in the angle at which the sun's rays reach any particular point on the planet Earth's surface, and from the variation in the number of hours of sunlight received. There are different times of the 365-day year, solar time. 17. The planet Earth's tilt is referred to as its obliquity, and the planet of its orbit, and the plane of its orbit, extended outwards to form a great circle in the celestial sphere, is known as the ecliptic. 18. Astronomers also speak of the celestial equator, which is an extension of the planet Earth's equator into the celestial sphere. 19. The celestial equator is today inclined at 23 degrees to the ecliptic because the planet Earth's axis is inclined at 23 degrees to the vertical. 20. This angle, termed the obliquity of the ecliptic, is not fixed and immutable for all time. On the contrary, it is subject to constant, though very slow, oscillations. These occur across a range of slightly less at 24 degrees. 21. A full cycle from 24 degrees to 22 degrees and back again to 24 degrees takes approximately 50,000 years, or an epoch, to complete. 22. So this fragile planet nods and spins while soaring along its orbital path. 23. The orbit takes a 365-day year, and the spin takes a 24-hour day, and the nod has a cycle of 50,000 years. A wild celestial wobble is going on as planet Earth skips and skims and dives through eternity. And you can actually feel the tug of contradictory urges to pull into the sun, or, on the other hand, or to make a move for the outer space. I'm sorry, let me read that one more time. 23. The orbit takes a 365-day year, and the spin takes a 24-hour day, and the nod has a cycle of 50,000 years. A wild celestial wobble is going on as planet Earth skips and skims and dives through eternity, and you can actually feel the tug of contradictory urges to pull into the sun on the one hand, or to make a move for the outer space on the other. 24. So the planet Earth is not true north, it's off of it, true magnetic right. 25. I, Amanubi Reakpata, tell you Nuwaupians all this because it is better to know it and not need it than to need it and not know about it. 26. Rayay, the sun's gravitational domain, in the inner circles of which the planet Earth is held captive, is now known to extend 19 trillion miles into space, almost halfway to the nearest star. 27. Its pull upon Earth is immense. Also affecting Earth is the gravity of the other planets of this solar system. 28. Each of these exerts an attraction which tends to draw the planet Earth out of its regular orbit around the sun. 29. The planets are of different sizes and revolve around the sun at different speeds. The combined gravitational influence they are able to exert thus changes over time in complex but predictable ways, and the orbit changes its shape constantly in response. 30. Since the orbit is an ellipse, these changes affect its degree of elongation or eccentricity. This varies from a low value close to zero when the orbit approaches the form of a perfect circle to a high value of about 6% when it is at its most elongated and elliptical. 31. There are other forms of planetary influence too. 32. As known, shortwave radio frequencies are disturbed when the planet Jupiter, Kishar, Saturn, Anshar, and Mars, Lahmu, line up. 33. And in this connection, evidence has also become known of a strange and unexpected correlation between the positions of Jupiter, Kishar, or Kas Asar Neb, Saturn, Anshar, or Kashta Asar, Mars, Lahmu, or Kahar Ray, or Pa Fustat, in their orbits around Pa Rayay, or Utu, or Shamish. and violent electrical disturbances in the Earth's upper atmosphere. 34. This would seem to indicate that the planets and the sun share in a cosmic electrical balance mechanism that extends 1 billion miles from the center of this solar system. Such an electrical balance is not accounted for in current astrophysical theories, yet it exists and is very real. 35. These are the records of the clock of true time. The obliquity of the ecliptic varies from 22 degrees to 24 degrees over a cycle of 50,000 years. 36. The signs of the times is seen by these movements and would presage the final destruction of the rule of Isfat, evil. 37. All the planet Earth inherits will be consigned to flame when the 5 planets assemble in Rayay, Scarab, Cancer, so arranged in one row that a straight line may pass through their spheres. 38. A conjunction of 5 planets that can be expected to have profound gravitational effect because of Earth's central sun of 600 miles in diameter, and it has already started in 1993 AD to May 5th, 2000 AD to 2003 AD, when Neptune, Uranus, Venus, Mercury, and Mars aligned with the planet Earth, May 5th, 2000. On the other side of the sun, setting up a sort of cosmic tug of war. 39. Also note the 5th sun. Calculate that there will be a most peculiar arrangement of planets at this time, December 21st, 2012, at dawn, AD. 40. The arrangement so peculiar that it can only occur once in 50,000 years, or twice of 24,000 years, to 26,000 years, for the precession and the equinox. This alignment is Earth, the Sun, and the center of the galaxy. From this extraordinary pattern, expecting extraordinary effect from 2003 AD to 2010 AD, 2011 AD, 2012 AD, and 2013 AD. It will start with weather changes and nature at work both on earth and sea and even in skies and minds of humans. Self-destruction in all forms is upon this planet now. 41. It will not and cannot be denied, Nuwaupians, that multiple influences are already at work within the solar system. 42. Among the many of these influences that is and will be seen to occur are with this planet on satellite Pa'aha, the moon. It is particularly strong. Earthquakes will get or have gotten much stronger and occur much more often when the moon is new or between the sun and the earth. When the moon crosses the meridian of the affected locality and when the moon is closest to the earth on its orbit. 43. When the moon reaches this latter point or its pedigree is gravitational attraction increases by 6% lunar. Let me start that over. Number 43. When the moon reaches this latter point or its pedigree is gravitational attraction increases by 6% lunar, means more lunatics in action, insanity, crazy, lust, killings, rape, wars, death is upon this planet at the end of the rule of 6 ether. 44. All this and more from 1993 to 2013 AD as he fades away. This happens once every 27 1/3 or 27 1/3 days. 45. The tidal pull that it exerts on these occasions affects all things and living things. The hour is upon us, not the moment, but the time, as each year becomes month to week to day to hour to moment. 46. All this circular motion, of course, generates immense centrifugal forces, and these cause the planet Earth's crust to bulge outwards at the equator. 47. The corollary is a flattening at the poles in consequence. The planet deviates slightly from the form of a perfect sphere to an oblate spheroid. 48. Its radius at the equator, 3,963.374 miles, is about 14 miles longer than its polar radius, 3,949.921 miles. 49. For billions of years, the flattened poles and the bulging equator have been engaged in a covert mathematical interaction with the recondite influence of gravity. 50. Because the Earth is flattened, explains one authority, the moon's gravity tends to tilt the Earth's axis so that it becomes perpendicular to the moon's orbit, and to a lesser extent, the same is true for the sun. 51. At the same time, the Equatorial Bulge, the extra mass distributed around the equator, acts like the rim of a gyroscope to keep the Earth steady on its axis. 52. So the planet Earth, as it revolves and rotates on its way around the sun, marks a time, and that time has revealed birth, age, death, and regrowth of living things. 53. This planet lives. It is alive. It was born a female to give life to living things, and as such, has a birth date as well. 54. And with such, she is aging, and with the help of evil mortals, she is now sick and dying. 55. So her time is coming to cure herself of the disease that plagues her. 56. It's time to remove the evil six ether forces that seek Earth's destruction. 57. They cause wars, destruction, plagues, famine, droughts, disease, hate, separation of people. He is a disease to the planet Earth. It is time to remove him off the planet, and Mother Earth and her soul nature is at work. 58. Using her powers, first the sun and moon, the wind and the waters. 59. She shakes the earth, parts the earth, melts the ice caps, causes earthquakes, tornadoes, whirlwinds, violent storms, volcanoes, landslides, earth opening up, floods, hurricanes. 60. Kill of sea creatures, animals, birds, plants, trees, and human beings. 61. Our great mother says enough is enough. It's time to remove the devil off the planet Earth and remove their evil forces of ghosts, spirit, demons. Their time is up. They will not rule, not even the new land of Canaan. The loss of the evil one's power will be revealed by their replacement as heads of the land. 62. As said before, I give all I have and all which is in my powers to see the evil ones removed out of existence forever. I have waited every moment of their 6,000-year rule, and it ended 2000 AD, and they faded out, without beginning and without ending. One of the reasons I picked this particular reading was because I was noticing a lot of distractions that were taking place, like on the internet and things of that nature concerning the Master Teacher's freedom. And one of the thoughts that I wanted to try to put in everybody's mind today was not to totally disregard Mother Nature or Mother Earth, the very planet that we live on. Pay closer attention to what's happening to her as well, because a lot of what's affecting her is affecting the Master Teacher, and in return is affecting us. We have to start learning how to feel more, and that was one of the reasons why I chose this particular reading.
How could I help free pop?
How can you help free pop? Oh man, I don't want to give you that the world famous cliche that love and unity is what will help free them, because I know you're talking about what can you do hands-on to come and help free pop. There are a lot of actual avenues that are being pursued to help free the Master Teacher. My best suggestion to you would be just come and find out what needs to be done. There's research you could probably do to help the legal team. There's, donations if you want to do that. There's, even something as simple as coming to help build here to help his visions become reality. All of that plays a part in helping to free him, because all that lets the world know that we're serious about him coming out of there. So there's a couple of different ways you could do it. My suggestion would just be come here and just ask what needs to be done, because there's a lot to do. We got a big job ahead of us. It's not just here. This is a worldwide thing. I'll be headed to Trinidad soon to help get the sanctuary project started. That plays a part in it. You know, there's a lot of things that are taking place, so just come and ask. A little warm, is it not?
I seen a reptilian, so why did I see it?
Hang on, I'm sorry. One more time.
I seen a reptilian, and I just wanted to know, why did I see it?
You said you saw a reptilian.
Yes.
And you were asking, why did you see him?
Yeah.
Because they're here. I mean, I can't. I mean, it wouldn't be fair for me to say, okay, you saw a reptilian because such and such and so and so happened. That wouldn't be fair. I mean, why that particular reptilian chose to reveal itself to you is between you and that reptilian. I wasn't there. I have no idea why why that encounter took place. Be glad you survived it. That's all I can say. Because I mean, there are some reptilians that are herbivores, but there also are some that are carnivores. So the fact that you saw it and didn't end up barbecued is probably a good thing. Any more questions? Well, with that, I don't want to keep y'all in this heat, and I'm burning up here. I don't know if y'all notice it. I'm like wiping all kinds of stuff. So if there are no more questions or comments or rereads or concerns or anything like that, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Get cool. There was food. I don't know if there's any more, but they did have food for sale upstairs. We appreciate y'all coming out as always, and come on back next week. That's all we have.
Bye.